Hello everybody, welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. So we started the first pair NZDCAD on the daily chart. So what can we see on the daily chart? We have a daily bearish trend. We have that daily first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, fifth leg in play, potentially going to the daily TP here. So this is the daily bigger bearish W. So what can we see? We have also a descending trend line, structural trend line, holding the price down. So very nice taps of these zones, and we had also a very nice downside momentum every time we tap that descending trend line. So what can we also see is we had that natural W, same lows, we had the same highs, we went to the downside. So now we can have that potentially natural W also again here, same lows, same highs, but within that we have also a bearish W. So you have your smaller first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg. First structure, which was support, which is now becoming resistance. That is now tapped, so this is active, and that's why we had now the daily retrace candle to the downside. So we have that pattern within a pattern. We have actually multiple patterns. We can go to the weekly now, sorry. So on the weekly, what can we see on the weekly chart? We can see important things on the weekly because we have our trend against us for the short, because I see this as our low and this is our new high. This is a very big impulse to the upside, and this is all a correction. So at one point we can go to the upside, and from which point is that? It's from the shoulder 1 here, the head, shoulder 2. So this is an important zone for me. This one is already got tapped, and the important thing, so we have that weekly trend against us with that massive correction. Of course, this correction can and go on still till a weekly lows also. This can happen, of course, but we are at an important region, that shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2. So for me, the trend is against me, or you can say it's not against me or not for me, because we have here these multiple bearish W's and this head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder. So for me, it's just against me. Then the candle close is with me for the short. We have that weekly bearish candle close. The FIB, you can see it from this low till this high. You can see this is also against us, but the smaller ones are also with us. The smaller bearish W or big one, you can choose what you can call it. And the weekly minus 27 needs to get tapped also. So this is not really for me working, not really against me working. So what can we also see? The supply and demand zone is working for us, because the last triggered zone was this supply and demand zone, this support, resistance, support, then here again support, and this nice resistance here, which got hold the price down. That's why we went back to the downside. So the last price that was activated was the bearish momentum. So we didn't tap yet that weekly buying zone. So this is for me still a weekly bearish momentum for more downside momentum. So we have 2 out of 4, we can take it. So we went to a 4-hour then, because the daily was clear for me. What can we see on the 4-hour? You can see on the 4-hour that we have a potential shoulder 1 here, this head, shoulder 2. Some people see this as a shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2, but for me this is one high. So this is the previous higher low, and this is the higher high. So that's why then we had a break of this higher low, and then we can potentially make the shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2 here. So I expect the price to come back to that shoulder 1 region here, this gray zone. And you can see also it's a supply and demand zone on the 4-hour. This is acting as clear support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, potential resistance again if the price comes back till this region. And you can see this selling zone triggered all the way till this beginning of correction. So this can happen too, and we can have here some being of correction touch, potentially touching the weekly zone and potentially up again, or we can go to the daily TP also to have that continuation pattern from that weekly correction. This can also play out. And what I also saw, if I put my horizontal line here, you can see the wicks, the resistance wicks. We have a lot of resistance wicks, as you can see. These are all wicks. These are all resistance wicks. And what we can see, the highest wicks are sitting here. So these are 2 times that this is coming to the same highs. As you can see, these are the same highs wicks. So that's why I also want to set my stop loss above that zone, and it's also above that head and shoulder, that head. So that's why we want to place it here around 24 pips. Yeah, and then maybe we can take some partial at the beginning of correction, but it's 1.8, so it's not that really much. So maybe the weekly buying zone, we can take some partials out, and then we can go to the daily TP for around 4.1%. That's what I can see right now for NZDCAD. Then the next one, USDHUF. If I go to the daily chart, what can you see on the daily chart? We have a bigger bullish M. So what can you see on a bigger bullish M? We have here our first leg, second leg, third leg, potential fourth leg coming back. And we can see within that we have a smaller bullish M. We have that first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg. Within that we have an IC here, a big IC sitting. So the price wants to come back till that zone, because between all the blue candles you have one red candle. So this needed a lot of power to make it a red one. So the banks and institutes like to take here some liquidity for going back to the upside till that daily -27 here. I just need to place that daily -27 here again. So it will be the 368.5. 368.800. This will be my daily TP. You can also take a more safer one. It will be 368.5. It will be a better one, like this. So I want to see the price coming back to that daily zone of interest. So then I went to the weekly. What can we see on the weekly? I will delete that. On the weekly, we can see we have a weekly bullish candle close with us. We have here our supply and demand zone acting as resistance here, support, resistance, and it's already acting as support here. So it's a very nice supply and demand zone. So we have already that 2 out of 4, and the weekly trend is also with us, because this was a high, low, high, lower low. We made a new high here, and then we made a kind of smaller bullish M, or here the same highs. We can expect also the same lows, but we have that big supply and demand zone on the weekly. So we have that 3 out of 4, because the fib from this low till this high didn't got tapped, so it's 3 out of 4. So then the daily was clear for me. We want to tap this daily zone. Then we went to the 4 hour, and on the 4 hour we are bearish right now. We had the potential shoulder 1, had shoulder 2, it didn't came back to it. Yeah, this was a potential one. We tapped the IC, and then we went to the downside. But for now, I took my fib from this high till this low, and we have a -27 fib completion potentially there. So yeah, we can take there a trade, a deceleration pattern, something like that. So I want the price to come back till this zone, and then we can have here some decel 1, 2, 3, 4, or a pattern inverse and the shoulders, or that bullish M for potentially more upside momentum. So this was my Sunday market breakdown. I hope you liked it, and yeah, I hope you have a nice trading week, and see you next week. Bye.